Okay, I'm going to go ahead and show you here how to hack a wireless network, a secured wireless network. There's a few different types of encryption methods. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to hack a wireless network with the WP encryption. And this can be applied to either Windows operating systems or Linux. We're going to actually use both in this, so either one you can apply to whichever operating system you're using. But first off, what we want to do is we're going to download a free program which is called VMware Player. And what we're ultimately going to do is actually create a virtual Linux operating system. So go to VMware Player. I'll provide the URL in the description of this video, but the URL is going to be here. It's a free product, and you can download it here. And once you've downloaded it, go ahead and install it and so forth. Make sure it's operating. And from there, once you have that done, you want to go ahead and download a Linux distro called Backtrack. It's Backtrack 3. And we're going to get the VMware image. So if you go to this location right here, I'll go and provide this in the description as well. You can download Backtrack Linux right here, the VMware image, which we'll want. Just click here to download. It'll download to your desktop and so forth. Just extract it at that point, and we can proceed from there. Once you have both those components downloaded and VMware installed, you want to go ahead and open up your VMware. I have a VMware workstation. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just this one costs money, but we're going to open up the VMware Player, and I already have my Linux distros already loaded and configured, so I have my Backtrack here. But for you, you're going to go ahead and either go to Home or File, New, Virtual Machine, and just go ahead and go with the typical installation, hit Next, and install a disk image ISO. That'll be the Backtrack ISO that you extracted from the RAR file earlier you downloaded. So you can just browse and locate the download. I already have mine there. It should look like a Backtrack 3 ISO. And go and select it, then hit Next, and select Linux as guest operating system, and scroll down from version and select the other Linux 2.6 kernel, and proceed by hitting Next, and name this whatever you want. I named mine Backtrack 3, but I'm going to name it something different so it doesn't overwrite my previous one. And just hit Next after that. Leave these settings alone, hit Next, and finish. And you should be good. It should populate in here for you. It'll probably look like a page similar to this, and from here we can proceed in configuring the device. Now, to configure the device, you first want to make sure we have a wireless adapter on our system. We're able to view wireless networks normally. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and show you mine here. Manage network connections. I have my wireless network connection here. I'm not currently connected to the network. I'm going to go ahead and leave myself unconnected. However, I am connected through a hard line through an Ethernet cable on a different connection, but that's fine. But the main thing we want to make sure is we have a wireless adapter enabled, but not connected to a network already. So once we've done that, we can go ahead and close out of that. Go back to our VMware here, and we want to edit virtual machine settings. And once you've done that, go to network type. And it should default to bridged, I believe. You want to go and make sure this is on NAT. You want to select that, and then also go to USB controller and unselect the automatically connect new USB devices. Sometimes this can cause issues with your wireless adapter if you have like a USB mouse, keyboard, and so forth. Sometimes it's going to overpopulate the USB devices and not allow a connection for your wireless. So we want to go ahead and uncheck that so we can manually add it in here. Also, one other good setting to alter is the memory for this virtual machine. Generally, it'll be a little fairly low, but to speed things up, I like to set mine a little higher. So just don't make sure you don't go to the maximum, but just go a little bit below the maximum. Also, if you have a dual or quad core processor, you can select this and select the number of processors you want to use. I made sure mine was on 2, and from there you should be good to go. Just click OK, and we can proceed from there. Now that we have this virtual desktop or virtual machine configured properly, we can go ahead and power it on. And basically this will create a virtual environment for a different operating system, the Linux operating system in this case. So it's basically like you're running on it, like you're powering a computer, you're running an operating system, but it's virtual, so it's running in memory rather than your actual hard drive. So anything you do in here shouldn't affect your actual system, it's all virtual. So we're going to go and let this power up here. Okay, now we have our Backtrack 3 Linux distro fully loaded here. I went ahead and exited out full screen and configured the desktop to be a little bit bigger here. But basically what we want to do here is first off ensure that we do have our wireless adapter connected. We can do that by going to VM, removable devices, and make sure our wireless adapter is shown here. Generally it'll default to your wired connection if you have it enabled, so make sure you don't have that enabled. Make sure it's disconnected if it is connected, and locate your wireless adapter and make sure it's connected. Right now mine's connected, but if it's not, just select connect and it should connect it for you. Back in here in our Linux distro, we can go ahead and select the terminal or access the shell terminal, and that'll be the little black button in the bottom left hand corner, second over, and this is our shell console. And in here we want to go ahead and type in the airmon-ng and press enter. And what this will do is it'll show our adapter name, the interface, which is WLAN 0 in my case, and generally that's a default, but you may have some it listed as something else. But anyways, from this point forward, we want to go ahead and type in, it's going to be aero-dump-ng, followed by the name of our device, which will be WLAN 0 in this case, and hit enter. And this should populate with some available networks here, so we're just going to give it a moment while it locates networks around us. Okay, now we see it's starting to populate here. It's best to, I find it best to give it about 30 you'll see the elapsed time frame right here, but give it about 30 seconds to populate everything, get the beacons and so forth just right. So let this run for a bit. And while this is running, I'll go ahead and explain what everything is here. BSSID, that would be the MAC address of the access point, basically their router. PWR is basically the signal strength. Beacons is beacon frames received. More beacons, the better the signal quality, so we want one with a higher beacon number preferably. And let's see. Data would be the number of data frames received. Channel here, this is the channel the access point is operating on. This here is basically the speed of the access point. ENC would be the encryption method. We're looking for WEP encryption. Over here, this is going to be the name of the network. My network's up at top, the Elites network, and that's WPA2. But we're locating WEP encryptions. So right now, our best option is looking like it's going to be the R house network, the RHO. So I guess that's our house. And right now, we see it has pretty good signal strength. It's 48. Anything above 20, 15, 20 should be. You should have pretty good luck with a lot of beacons too. So we're going to go ahead and stop this. You can press Control C to stop that, and you'll be back to a terminal command you can enter in. And so basically we're going to single out this network right here. So the R house network, and you notice it is WP encryption and it has good signal strength and so forth, so we should have some pretty good success with this. Now we want to go ahead and enter in a command that will basically capture packets from the specified device. And it's going to write IVs, which would be initialization vectors, to the document we specify. So we go in and type in airo-dump, which is AIRODUMP, -ng space -w, which is the right command, and we're going to name the document passcode in this instance, space --BSSID space, and then the access point address we want to capture packets from, which will be the R house. So we're going to go ahead and highlight this and copy it and input it there and paste. And then we also want to go to space -C to specify the channel, and the channel is going to be 6, so we can see that CH, and it's going to be 6 right here. So go ahead and input 6 right there, and then specify the adapter you're working on, which is WLAN 0. So you have all the information typed in, just hit enter, and you'll see here that it's starting to receive data. And it also gives us the elapsed time frame and so forth. Basically, our main concern is this number right here, the data number. This is the amount of IVs it's received, and we want to get probably about 20,000 IVs before we proceed. You could probably start at about 10,000, but any number between 10,000 and 70,000 is generally a good number. But we're going to let this run until it gets to 20,000. If this is some networks, it can go fairly fast. You can go a lot faster than this. Some networks can go really slow. If it's going really slow because there's not many network activity at the moment, you can do what's called active attack through injection. But I'm not going to go over that because not everything's supported by that, and it could probably just cause some more problems. I want to keep this as simple as possible. So if it's going slow for you, you're just going to have to wait it out. But generally, this takes about 20 minutes depending on the network. So we're going to go ahead and let this run until it gets to about 20,000. And then we'll proceed from there.